So guys, yesterday we were talking here and all about this testing area, and I was going through some methodology type stuff that I sort of used, G'day Constant, and lo and behold, got myself quite a bit of feedback about a few things, and we might as well address those to get things started. First of all, Tobias asked a question a few minutes back about these different phases that I was using and basically what was I using them for. So if we just go there real quick and have a look, I'll explain something quickly that might help you out. I think this is getting recorded, PJ. Yes. Now, these phases here, this demo area here, this is where I was actually, and next week I'll show you what I'll expand on it a bit further because I have some presentations on another computer. But I was testing scenarios of lots of different things. See, as a novice trader, I remember when I said I sat at FX Bootcamp for like 3 weeks and just absorbed information and went through all their training videos. I didn't actually make a trade or anything. I just absorbed as much about technical analysis and stuff as I could. And so when I was sort of got my sandbox and development system and stuff I was talking about, I didn't exactly know what I wanted to trade with, because in boot camp you're exposed to lots of things. There's a lot of oscillator stuff if you're into that sort of thing, and then there's a lot of price action stuff, and there's a lot of Fibonacci stuff, and there's a lot of EMA stuff and pivot stuff. And so in these sort of development and into the testing area, I was actually testing lots of different scenarios at once. For example, I would take the same trade. Well, I would sit down and go, okay, if it gets back to the 50% fib of this swing and things like that, and it's a central pivot or whatever, I will look to trade it. But at the same time, I was also looking at things like, if we pull back to this area and get a MACD cross with a stochastics backing it up, aka a Wayne McDonald type trade, I'll take that. So I was actually testing lots of different things at the same time. Make sense? That's why I had these different sort of areas. So I could actually, I didn't know what I wanted. I need to get, that's where I got the sort of, in the end of the day, and what I was talking about a few weeks ago with you guys, at the end of the day, after what I've been through, if you want to fast track yourself to getting to where you want to be as a full-time trader, go Lee, just do something that you're interested in. I scrounged around in there probably a little bit longer than you needed to, scratching my head. MACD was the nicest. I thought I was having a love affair with MACD, and it just let me down. Just like, not just let me down, but gave me the cold shoulder for forever. So you got to sort of work out what suits you. And I think just become an expert at it and stick with it, and you'll all be fine. Okay? Now, I got a lot of email about when you start out and how much money you need in your account. We spoke about it high level last night. I was explaining how you need to basically how much you get in trade and how much it all depends on how much you need to survive on each month. And I guess also remembering that you need to sort of build your trading account a little bit. Okay? So I got a lot of feedback, and could you give some examples? So I think fair enough, and maybe there's a million and one ways to look at this sort of thing. But if we use the sort of model that I use, I may increase a mini lot per 1,000 pip type person. So for example, if you had $1,000 in a trading account, okay, and you started with 1,000, and then you traded one mini lot. You're welcome, Ark. And you made 1,000 pips. You'll now have 2,000 approximate dollars in your trading account. Okay? And after you've done that, you can go and increase that to 2 mini lots, which will then, of course, give you another $2,000 in your trading account. Okay, so that'll make you 2,000. So all of a sudden you have $3,000 in your trading account. Okay, and then you can increase to 3 mini lots. Okay, you get the drift, make another 1,000 pips, and off you go. So, once you're making, and so, every month you make a little bit of money, and also your risk goes down every month as well, because you'll end up risking, you should end up risking slightly less. And that's the sort of formula that I've pretty much used since day one. And it's all about this 1,000 mark, right? Now, some of you might think 1,000 pips, good God, that's a lot. But I decided as part of my trading that I think it's better to go for more pips, less risk. And I like 1,000 pips per month on average is my goal. Now, sometimes you don't get it. 0.10, Lee. Okay, some months you don't get it. Yep. But Aviator, sometimes you can get it in a week. So 1,000 pips per month. Yeah, 10K position. Okay. And so things build up, and you don't have to get far, guys. After some months, and you've actually got some money you can be living off quite comfortably. Okay? Now, I started off with a very similar model, and started off, I'll explain my personal situation, but I started off, being able to pay slowly some bills and stuff, and kept on going and going until suddenly you can make mortgage payments and various other bits and pieces, right? And just started off slow and ramp things up. No, I like more pips with less lots. It's just plain common sense, right? If I said, Boyke, you want to make 100 pips this week on a standard lot, that's good. I can guarantee you I can make you 200 pips on half a standard lot, so the same money. Wouldn't you feel more comfortable with half a standard lot of risk? Same result? Yeah. One of the reasons why I went for this, guys, I met a guy in my very novice days who was making $20,000 a month trading Forex. I'm like, whoa, that's nice. Thinking $20,000 a month, this guy's trading 5 standards or something. So I asked him, what's your risk? He goes, oh, I like half a standard lot. I just get myself into these trades that try and make lots of pips. It sort of rung a bit of a bell in my mind. And he just had ways and means of knocking down nice trades all the time. That's right, 50 pips a day and I'll be happy. And if you slowly and what's 50 pips a day equate to in a month? It's about 1,000, isn't it? $250 a week, 4 weeks a month. I've introduced some advanced techniques in my trading. I've introduced some advanced techniques in my trading that actually have increased it. Clerk, I'm not sure of the actual percentages and risk. I never worked that stuff out. I just think $1,000, $1 million lot's enough to get you going. Your testing and everything should get you in a position where that's something where you go. Really, Noda? You could have intervened on that today for us. Noda, our class in bootcamp thought you were going to intervene. Thanks for the putty pooper. Oh, Aviator, sometimes one, sometimes two. Yeah, sometimes you'll make 150 pips. Sometimes you won't make any. Okay, so just something to think about, guys. It's each to their own. There's no perfect formula for it. Something you, at the end of the day, don't worry about what anyone else is doing. It's what your gut tells you. If you're someone who takes a trade and you're all breaking out in a sweat and your heart's like beating, like, why is my heart beating so hard? You're probably a little bit too many lots on the table or something like that. Something you need to think about. Okay, so that was yesterday's talk was a lot about how I did this. Now, I was also explaining Lance, yes, I have money sitting in a bank account. So yesterday we were talking how I achieved this. Yeah, it's hemorrhaging trillions of yen all the time. Notice. So can you please, if you need to hire me as a trader to help you get out of your jam, please let me know. So I had to do this in the live markets, guys, because I didn't know anything. I sort of knew what bootcamp was telling me and all these other sorts of things. Okay, and then one day, a few months back, it was only about 3 months ago, 4 months ago maybe, I was mentoring somebody, and when I mentor people, okay, it's not me necessarily showing you stuff, it's you showing me. So you might get on Skype and you might share your screen with me and show me your setup and how you trade and all that sort of stuff, and then we take it from there. And so I'm mentoring this guy, and he sort of flashes to his desktop, and there's this program there called Forex Tester, and I'm like, what's that? And he goes, oh, some program I picked up at some MC4 programming session. Never really used it. Never really looked at it. I'm like, gives a look. He goes, turns it, he goes, yeah, I guess it's pretty good. You can sort of backtest your scenarios. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. Like, yeah, it's quite good. You can sort of, you do it you put a 4-hour chart up and a 15-minute chart up. And when you change the 15-minute chart, it records on the 4-hour chart at the same time. I'm like, goodness gracious, give me a look at that thing. And so he shows me, gives me a little 5-minute look around, and I looked at that and said, that is the best thing in Forex I've ever seen to learn. That is what I call the shizzle. And the shizzle is like, it's right up there with like an Aston Martin car, right? It's like as good as it gets for what you want. And I thought to myself, why did I not have that? or a Toyota Venza motor, yes. So why didn't I have that when I was learning to trade? Because, you know, I was trying to do everything in the live markets, and it just took time. And so the moment our call was over, my mentoring, I'm straight onto their website and just got me a license. Just bought the thing. This is it here, anyone who's never seen it. And it's got very much a feel like MT4. Now, I do not know these people. I've got no relationship to these people, but their product is, for what you need, is incredible. Oh, Lee, you would not believe how in the few months I've used this, how my own personal trading has taken a huge step. The data is free, but you're a month behind. But if you want the up-to-date, I need today's data type stuff, there is a fee. But for backtesting, learning to trade, there's 10 years worth of data in there, guys, of about a dozen currency pairs. You don't need today's data. You can just go back to, well, January 2009 onwards and work anything out. Cyborg, I don't believe so, but you can write some that are very similar. But you can, it very much works like MT4. Okay. What do you mean the past scenario, Robert? Just grab a drink here, guys, hang on. Well, Jason, a demo account for a broker is a live feed. This isn't a live feed. Okay? Because I'm from FX Bootcamp, Boyke, and we're registered with the NFA, I'd have to say past performance does not predict your future results. So, Jay, this is it, guys. You can, so I've got, see this look here. Where's my GFT? See, I have GFT up here, right? Euro, dollar, 15-minute chart on the left, an hourly on the right, a 4-hour chart down the bottom left, and a daily chart on the bottom right. Okay, so we can make the same sort of look with the same EMAs and stuff in the Forex Tester. Okay, now what it does is I can say start testing, and I can define a date to start. So I can select any date I want back to 2001. Okay, and so I'll just put in here, now it's gone to another screen, but I'll just put in here, say 2000 and Monday, January 1, 2010, and it's going to go away. If you just Google Forex Tester, it'll take you to their website. Lee, I'll sit down and trade like 3 months worth of data in a couple of hours, testing scenarios out. And the beauty is, and this is the other thing, FX Rising makes a very good point. You can sit down 24 hours a day, 7 days a week and go through this stuff. Even when the markets are closed. Forex Tester. It's just Forex Tester. Go Google Forex Tester and it's there, guys. This will be the first thing. I don't know it off the top of my head. Okay, so it's loading the data. And you can see it's changing on all the different charts at all the same time. Thanks, Aviator. Okay. Exactly, Tobias. I live in this thing, guys. I compare this to a Formula One wind tunnel. If you're into Formula One racing, those top Formula One racing teams, they live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in wind tunnels testing aerodynamics of their racing cars, because that's where the speed is to make them faster. I'm like, right now, even personally, I'm using Forex Tester as much as humanly possible to improve my trading. Yeah, I'm the Forex wind tunnel. Okay. Okay. So let me we'll just take some ideas, but we can spend. I mean, I'm going to be around for a few more weeks, guys, so we can spend a lot of time in here. So just loading up the data. Pick your date, off you go, and you can test anything you come up with. So if you're into GAN fans with Stokes crosses and whatever, get all that stuff lined up on the charts and off you go. Pick your time frames, pick everything, go off, make yourself umpteen dozen trades and see how bad you are. But the good thing is you can do it really, really fast. Really, really fast versus, oh, well, what are the live markets going to give me today? I've only got a couple of hours before I have to go to work. There you go, Noda. That's where you're falling down in your trading, okay? MACD divergence. That's a very much a nice to have, not a need to have part of your toolbox. Right, so you can actually, if you also, guys, if you're no good at, and we'll start with this, if you're no good at analysis, you can learn about the fractal nature of the market by looking at this. Okay, so you'll see now that we've got a whole lot of new charts, and I can hit this. I can hit. Can you guys see the charts moving? They're probably a little bit delayed, but you'll see that what's happening on, the charts are all moving at the same time. Okay. Now you can pause that because it's this slider you see up here. You can adjust the speed to being very slow, like real market time, to being very fast, the fast forward stuff, which works really well. Or you can just hit the space bar and suddenly things start moving quite rapidly. Okay, so you can see what a difference just by looking at the charts. You can see that now we've found support on a 4 hour, now the 15 minutes changing trend. This is what things start to look like. Daily chart starting to look up. Maybe we're going to expect something like that to happen. Boyke, you've got this thing about, what does it matter? All I'm saying is buy at support, sell at resistance. Okay, and then suddenly, just like I was saying, off we go, and all that sort of stuff. So you can learn about the fractal nature of the market. So by what I mean is if you're not confident with your analysis, something like a daily chart here, I would say no. I mean, this is the history of the data as it happened way back then, Boyke. So I don't understand what you mean by does the past always repeat in the future? Okay, so looking at this daily chart, we might assume a few things if you want to learn the fractal nature of the market, is maybe that we're finding a bottom here, a bottom here. If we can break this high here, then maybe we're looking at something like that. Yeah, of course. Okay, and you can see how that plays out on lots of different time frames. You know, maybe I'm totally wrong, but we'll soon find out. And so you'll notice that that's I was going to say that is the only problem with it is you do not know when Trichet's going to open his mouth, or there's going to be an earthquake, or I mean, you can work out the first Friday of every month and work out when NFP will be, but yeah, the news will kill you. I would disagree, Jeremy, because a longer term time frame is king. Well, so let me just explain. I use longer term time frames to do my analysis and trade planning than the execution of shorter term, because I like the fractal nature of the market. So, for example, you see this, I'll show you here. Let me see, this is the beauty as well. You can hit the backspace button and go backwards. It's lovely. It's beautiful. So I can go back in time. And just to show Jeremy an example, gotta love it. So we're back in this 4-hour support area here. I like trading off 4-hour charts. It's a nice long-term time frame. And you can see we've sort of gone up and we're sort of starting to trend. Okay? But yeah. So that's me, Jeremy. What do we want to do there? What do we want to do? We're at support, aren't we? So we want to buy. Okay. So if you're someone, Jeremy, who is new to trading and you've got a full-time job, your trade plan might be area of support, 4-hour 21 area. I dig that. I'm going to look to buy, and I'm going to go and put my stop somewhere down here, lower lot size, because I have a job and I cannot pinpoint my entries, but you know, I've got to get out the door here for work and I need to get going, so I'm just going to take that trade, put a stop down there and walk out the door, and hopefully later on we're going to be up there. That's a way of doing it. Okay? Now if you've got time, you can sort of more pinpoint your entry. So we can go along with Forex Tester and say, so 15-minute chart over here, 15-minute chart here is actually down right now, correct? So we can maybe wait and see if we get a short-term change of trend pattern of some nature, which we've just got there. We've found a bottom here, made a higher low, made a higher high through here with respect to this one. So now I'd be quite confident fibbing up this rise, waiting for some sort of pullback, and seeing if I can get in the trade. Well, that's what I was hoping to do, Boyke, but I've got so many questions that we've banked up with this sort of area that I think we'll just continue and then we'll just do that next week on Tuesday. Okay? So we muck around. Okay? We haven't really come back to our fib zone. But you can move your fib if you want. because you want to buy off this 4-hour area. You think it's up. And you can make an entry, guys. And I can view my little... There's my entry. And I can modify my order. I can put a stop down here somewhere. And then, off we go. Okay, so you can move your stop to break even. And then off we go and see how you go. And you can trade anything you like. Absolutely anything you want. And you can go past, there's history for like a dozen tiers, and gold and silver for years. So it's an incredible way to learn to trade. And once you can learn analysis with it, because you can get the fractal nature of the market. You can quickly test any tools or combination of tools or anything you want. And guys, we just went through, I bought this on the 3rd of January 2011. I'm currently in the 4th of January, a couple of minutes later. So you can go through an entire week of data in no time at all and make trade plans. And I've found it extremely beneficial. Well, obviously, I've sort of got somewhere with my trading, but I've been able to use this for gaining extra confidence and getting extra confidence and learning about more trade management using this, and I've actually majorly changed my trading style as well because of the Forex Tester. And I've only seen it for like 3 months ago. I worked out, Jeremy, I use it every day. Like, when I've done my trading for New York and I've been to the gym and stuff, I come home, I'm having a coffee, I'm relaxing, I'll probably sit with the Forex Tester. I'm not sure, Prance, whether you can. I hear you can and I hear you can't, but we use it every day. Boy, I will do, if the markets are quiet, I will ask people, what are we doing? Scalping, spot trading. What are we going to do? Who wants to test the scenario? We'll even be in class and we'll be talking about something like, someone will come up with some sort of, scalping technique, or, what was really good was when, you had the Greek sell-off, or the issues, like, remember the scenario I was telling you about how, in fact, we can fast forward here and get to it quite quickly. You know how we have the scenario of, I've been talking about is, what if you've got a very volatile, fundamentally driven market? There's never enough aviator. It's as many as humanly possible. Right? You can go to those points in time and backtest specific scenarios. So as you develop as a trader and you understand that sometimes very fundamental, volatile situations are going to dominate the market, you can go back in time and get strategies for that, right? For example, the Japanese earthquake. What if the US had a giant earthquake? Look what happened in Japan. Look at what the markets did. You can go back and test that stuff. You just need to find the date, go back in time. Oh, really, Lee? That's interesting. I'll take a look at that. But I teach these things in class, yes, Lee, very much so. Okay? So you see this here, guys? Quite a nice trending period. Obviously a very fundamentally driven period in the market. Hating the US dollar here. A lot of people find that very difficult to trade because they always think the trade's going to end. They always try to take the reverse position, don't they? So if you're not good at that sort of situation, you need to get confidence, you need to work out a strategy to suit that sort of situation. You can just go back to the Forex Tester and go back and say, okay, I need to learn to trade with a trend proper. So this is exactly what you can do, is you can go away and look at the Forex Tester and trade it. So you'll see things like, close the terminal. Remember the strategies we were talking about, how you're riding the 15-minute 21 until it doesn't want to be done anymore, then it's the hourly 21, and then it's the 4-hour 21. Well, you'll see that situation like through here. If I just back test a few candles. See, through here you'll see everything on the charts, 21 above the 55, 21 above the 55, 21 above the 55, and even the 15-minute 21 above the 55. So you should just look to long off the 15-minute 21, exactly like here, something like that trade there, everything up, 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 up. Trade that until you get knocked out. So you might be trading along. Okay, now it's getting broken. Back to the hourly 21. Okay, that didn't want to hold. 4-hour 21, 15-minute change of trend, please. Thank you. Off we go. And the whole trend just starts again. And now 15-minute is above the 21 again. Goes on and on and on and on and on. Just repeats itself. So you can you can go and test summertime. Summertime is a nasty time to go and trade, if you didn't know that. You can develop a summertime only strategies, which is basically trade management differences. And then go and trade them. I even developed this sort of thing, guys, just as an idea out of this. When you get in a trade, I changed from having a fixed take profit area to having a dynamic one. For example, what I would do sometimes, for example, let me just show you something along, just finding it. So say something here. Oh, let me just go back quickly. What I decided is, and this is what Forex Tester showed me, what I worked out, is you might say this, let's say in the past my take profit area was here. It was I used to have an entry, put a take profit in, stop loss, off you go. Move the stop to break even, go take my profit, thank you very much. But then I worked out through the Forex Tester and just, trying to get a bit of experience that I could actually maybe trail that. If the 15-minute EMA is in control, the 15-minute 5, that's this line going up through here. Well, what if I just trailed that and see if I could get lucky? Okay, so instead of just getting out there where I think, I'll just move the stop sort of to an area below the 15-minute 5 and see how often I can get lucky. And if it takes, breaks my take profit area, I'll just keep trailing that 5 until it doesn't want to get taken anymore, traded anymore. And what I was finding is sometimes your 50 pip profit target turns into an 80 pip winner or 100 pip. And what I've been finding out is sometimes I'm earning an extra 50 pips a week, and I'm putting it down to having a flexible stop loss. 50 pips a week, you might be like, whatever. But say on a standard lot, 50 pips a week is an extra $2,500 a month, which is about an extra $25,000 a year. It's a couple of very nice vacations. I always do a high level risk reward ratio. I always have a take profit target in mind and stuff. Boyke, it was the Forex Tester that gave me the confidence to find it out, because I was just getting into trades and I was setting my take profits, and I'm like, these things are just extending and extending and extending. So I went back to, basically high level, went back to this and said, I need to test this stuff. Now I've got to put it through my, testing, and now, this is largely my Forex Tester now, for me. All this stuff in here. And tested it and tested it and tested it. And so by testing it, I just take like 3 or 4 pairs, and I'll take like the Aussie dollar and I'll run it for 3 months of a year. And I'll take the pound and I'll run it for 3 months of a different year. And I'll take the euro and I'll run it and I'll test the same scenario based on how I used to trade in the new way, and then it's like, okay, that was good. Very much so, Claire. Now, if you have a job, and you can take a laptop to work or install it on your company PC, you can sit there in your spare time, lunchtime, after work, before work, and you could probably trade a month's worth of euro data in an hour. Well, then you've got a fundamental reversal in the market, Lee. So hopefully, your stops are probably going to get taken, and that's going to be it. But what we'll do, guys, if it's okay with you, is next week we'll spend an entire 45 minutes trading the way I like to trade on the Forex Tester, and that'll be for you, Boyke, the end-to-end, like an example of a system, and then we'll see how we go. Someone can pick the pair, I don't care what it is, and we'll see how we go and trade. See how much money we can make. Okay. Let's call it a day there, guys, because I've got a sick coach at bootcamp that I'm going to have to do some work for. So have yourselves a good weekend, and we'll catch you next Tuesday. Okay? Have a good one, guys. Thanks.